Welcome guys, this is Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews. If I am honest, I have not found an adjustable kettlebell that I think is as good as a traditional kettlebell. Now obviously there are a lot of benefits that come with purchasing an adjustable kettlebell, like the major one being you save a ton of space. However, we have gone ahead and tested a ton of adjustable kettlebells. I am going to talk about 4 of my favorite here today. However, if you go to garagegymreviews.com, we have an even longer list of adjustable kettlebells that we absolutely love, so be sure to check that out. We will place a link in the description below for you to see. The 4 that I have talking about today, the reason I have decided to talk about these ones specifically, they are either really easy to adjust the weight, they are at a really good cost point, or they feel like a true kettlebell. Now there is one that has all of those things, and then the other one's kind of a mixed bag of those. Also, if you want to go ahead and continue to see content like this, make sure you are subscribed. And if you want to purchase any of the kettlebells that we've talked about today, please use the link below the like button to purchase those. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help give us a small commission. Okay, so the first, kind of my overall pick, the one that I like the best is from Rep. Now, Rep's adjustment system is one of the easiest. It's basically just a dial at the top that you go ahead and flip, and it'll change the weight all the way from 16 kilograms up to 24 kilograms. Now, I will say kind of the one call out to that dial or that knob, whatever you want to call it, is that it is made from plastic. So anytime we see that, we like to point that out, because obviously if you are dropping this, although I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, I do think you could get away with it, but it's not my endorsement to drop your kettlebell. I mean, that plastic is prone to breaking. However, we have had this Rep adjustable dumbbell for probably over 3 years now. It has been tested, it has been dropped, it has been used so many times, and it still has remained intact. So it's not the cheapest adjustable kettlebell out there, but by no means is it the most expensive. It is going to cost you $219 for that 16 kilogram to that 24 kilogram weight. However, they do have another option that goes ahead from 20 pounds to 40 pounds. I do think it's funny that one is in kilograms and one is in pounds, but the 20 to 40 pound adjustable kettlebell is $159. Basically how it works is that there are cast iron plates within the kettlebell itself. So when you twist the knob, it's going to latch on to a variety of different cast iron plates. All those cast iron plates comes in 2 kilograms. So again, even that internal aspect of the kettlebell should be able to withstand a lot of drops if you do accidentally drop it. Really, I don't think you can go wrong with these. They feel really well balanced. I like that you can get both hands on the handlebar. They feel like a traditional kettlebell. It offers a lifetime warranty on this kettlebell, which is fantastic, and it does come with free shipping. So even though it is kind of at that higher cost point, although not the highest that we see, this is an outstanding adjustable kettlebell, one that I absolutely would buy for myself, use on my own if I was looking for an adjustable kettlebell. Okay, so next up is from PowerBlock and PowerBlock adjustable kettlebell. There's a couple things I really like about this one. However, it doesn't have the traditional kettlebell feel. The biggest things that I really love about this one is that it is compact and it is incredibly easy to change the weight. Basically, there are 3 different holes. You go ahead and you grab a rod and you insert it to the weight that you want, and that is all you have to do. Like, it is so incredibly easy. And it is compact, however, it is more of a square design versus like a traditional kettlebell design. Now, one kind of call out to this, and it's not the biggest deal, but they don't have the widest variety of weight ranges like we see with something like the Rep. So with the PowerBlock, it's actually 18 to 35 pounds, and that one is $200. Or then you have one from 35 to 62 pounds, and that is $350. Now the 35 to 62 pound option, I think, gives you a lot of variety for different movements. It's a great weight range. However, it is more expensive, and again, it doesn't feel like your traditional kettlebell. I wouldn't necessarily love to do a dynamic movement with this. I think that it would feel a little awkward doing something like like a kettlebell snatch. But if you are looking for something to do just like Turkish get-ups or rows or swings, I still think you can go ahead and get away with those. So if you are looking for a compact design, you don't mind that it doesn't have that traditional feel, but you are also looking for one that's incredibly easy to change the weight, even though it is at a little bit of a higher cost point, go ahead and check these out. For the power block, I mean, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely not my least favorite. It just kind of sits in that middle range for me. Up next is Bells of Steel competition style adjustable kettlebell. So these come in two different weight options. The first one being from 12 to 20.5 kilograms, and then the other ranging from 12 to 32 kilograms. The 12 to 32 kilogram option costs $332.99. I actually love the feel of these kettlebells. I've used them a ton. We actually have a full video review that I just did on these specifically. However, this is my major call out to these kettlebells. It's not a hard process to change the weight, it's just not quick. So essentially you have these iron plates within the kettlebell and they range in different weights. So like a couple are like 0.5 kilograms or 1.5 kilogram, 2 kilogram. There's a variety of different weights within that shell. The shell itself weighs 12 kilograms. But what you have to do is you actually have to lean over the entire kettlebell, use an Allen wrench, take out the bottom, adjust the weight system, put it back on, tighten it back up. Again, if you are doing any sort of supersets with different weights, it's going to be a pain in order to change those all of the time. One thing that does make these stand out though is that they are super durable, very similar to what Rep features. So again, not encouraging dropping, but I do think if you drop these, your kettlebell will remain intact and it shouldn't cause any internal damage to the weight mechanisms and how you change that. These are made from a steel with a powder coated finish, and then there are 4 different color options that you can go ahead and purchase. This also comes with a 35mm handle, really comfortable to use for both hands or a single hand. Now, one call out I do have is that it doesn't hold chalk the best. It's not like very grippy, something like if you're used to using like a Rogue traditional kettlebell or something of that nature. This feels a little bit different. It's not the most grippy handlebar, but I still think it's pretty decent. Okay, last thing about this is that they offer a limited lifetime warranty on their kettlebells, and then they offer free shipping to anywhere in the continental US. If you have stuck around this long, you must really love kettlebells, so please tell me your favorite kettlebell in the comments below. I have one left to talk about, and that is the Bowflex SelectX 840. With the exception to the Bells of Steel competition adjustable kettlebells, none of these have been overwhelmingly hard to change. Might take some time with the Bells of Steel, but again, still not hard. However, the Bowflex system is one of the easiest ways to adjust the weights in your kettlebell. This actually goes from 8 pounds all the way up to 40 pounds with a simple design of twisting the knob at the top. Very similar to the Rep, but almost even easier. The entire kettlebell, again, giving you a huge weight range from 8 to 40 pounds, only costs $149. Obviously, you're not going to have that massive weight range, something like we see with the power blocks where it's like 62 pounds, but a lot of people can still do a lot of movements using that 8 to 40 pound weight range. Now, one kind of minor call out to me is that it doesn't have that traditional kettlebell shape. I just prefer it. Not everybody cares. Not everybody is as picky as me, but it does have a sort of more like oval-like shape than what we see with something from the Bells of Steel or the Reps. Now, another call out to this is that it does have a plastic shell, so not something like steel or cast iron that I would say you probably can go ahead and drop this. So with these, I would be very careful not to drop this kettlebell. Another thing that I do wish is that there were more weight increments between the minimum and the maximum, but all in all, I still think this is a super easy adjustment system and at a decent cost point. It does also only come with a 2-year warranty, whereas the average for most adjustable kettlebells is at least a 4-year warranty, if not longer. All in all, I would hands down go with the Reps. Like, we've had it for so long. I've used it so many times. It's an easy adjustment system. And even though it does have that plastic knob at the top, so far we haven't had any issues with it. So for me, I'm going with the Rep. Wyatt says he'd go with the power blocks because of how easy it is to adjust. But let me know which one you guys are choosing in the comments below. This has been Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews.